Good evening, Facebook family and friends, YouTube family and friends. I am Sheba. I am your happy bug. And tonight we're going to have one of those subjects that I don't know. I don't know if it's really a tedious subject. I just think that it's just one of those almost well to need topics because it seems like us women and us men don't always seem to understand each other as clearly as we would like. So dating is just one of those things that we each just do differently. Women do it a certain way, men do it a certain way. Some people do it with ulterior motives, I'm sure, and some people need more from it than others. So, welcome tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. And we have a good panel tonight. We have two ladies and we have two brothers. And we're just gonna kind of jump right in there and just kind of start having our topic. And I want to thank the panel because without the panel, we can't have Talk Tuesdays. So we have Dara on tonight. We have Billy on tonight. We have Darnett on tonight, and we have Aquilus, but he seems to have stepped away, so he'll be back with us, I guess, at some point of our broadcast. So we'll let Dara take the floor and kind of give us her ideology on what this whole dating thing looks like, you know. And I'll be around and we'll be talking. So thank you once again. So Dara, the floor is yours.
Well, gee, thanks. So, dating, especially now in 2020, right? You would think that you would have your traditional man, woman, what have you, but a one-on-one. My situation is a little bit different. Or you want to call it friends with benefits or whatever, dating, what have you. I don't know. It's like the big D word. I don't know. Some people run away from it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
some people, the man or woman, some don't want to say that they're dating. They still want that element of freedom, I guess you could
Mm,
say, right?
right.
Um, but again, have been around for quite some time, so I think the dating scene has changed, probably at least in the last 10 years or so. Um, but it's I think they're traditionally speaking, yes, you man and woman one-on-one, not just friends with benefits, but it is what it is. The bottom line is if you're happy, that's all that matters. And I am not single. I'm independently owned and operated. There is a difference. So that is all I'm saying.
All right. Do you think, as women, do you think we changed the game of dating by what we allow?
Absolutely. 100%. I think especially now because we are so much more independent. I,
Mm-hmm.
I think so. We're so much more independent. But again, we also want that security, that emotional, hold, so to speak. But I think that women being so independent these days may intimidate men. But yes, do I think that women have changed? Absolutely, especially now with social media, the technology, so many ways of communicating. We didn't have that 30 years ago. You either rang my phone or you didn't. Now what we're doing is, now we can send a text. Oh, faces in the phone. And look what it does to us, like psychologically speaking, right? Because
Right.
then our feelings get hurt if that person, and vice versa. So everything's been a game changer, but it takes the humans behind it. So, but yes, I absolutely do think that we've definitely changed the game for the better. I
The,
believe.
the thing for me is, I think that we've become too comfortable with calling ourselves friends with benefits. Because to me, what is really the benefit? This is my ideology. What is the benefit of being a friend with someone who you're sleeping with? There's to me and my ideology, there's no such a thing because once we start sleeping together, our friendship has changed. So is it really just a friendship at that point? And I think a lot of us has taken that route because it makes it easier to kind of deal with some of this stuff and
Correct.
deal with the fact of him not wanting us, or deal with the fact of him choosing something else. Because if I'm just his friend,
Mhm.
then it'll be something that we can tolerate a little bit better. Like, what has that experience been for you?
Woo-wee. It's been an interesting experience, needless to say. But it's somebody that I've known for a very long time, and
Mhm.
I'm very comfortable, with him, with the situation or whatever. And as we like to say, it is what it is. There is an emotional barrier, absolutely, that's up. And I think that's on, both sides, so to speak. So, but again, as time goes on, you kind of get a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper as we, go on or whatever. But all I just make sure that, I protect my heart and my soul. And
Right.
it is what it is. I'm
That is
not,
what it is.
it is what it is. It's also, it's all good.
Okay.
There's that freedom, at the same time.
For both parties. Okay. So we're gonna go through the rest of the panel, and then we're gonna come back because I'm gonna ask you something about something you said. So I'm just gonna kind of let everybody introduce themselves and their thought process on the topic,
Okay.
and then we'll go from there. So since the lady started, let's start. Let's go to Billy because Quill is not on. So we'll go to Billy. Billy, are you ready to take the floor?
Yeah, I'm ready. Now, Sheba, can you do this for me? Can you reiterate the topic for me so I won't, be all
Dating.
off topic?
Dating.
Dating.
What does it mean to men and women? What is dating to you? What does that come with?
Well, you should have picked the right topic to do it at this time. What is dating to me? Oh,
Mhm.
jeez. Okay. So for me, when it comes to dating, I won't speak on behalf of all the men. I would say in my age bracket, in early
Mhm.
30s. Oh,
Mhm.
that's such a loaded question. Dating.
Yeah,
Um.
it's loaded. Yeah.
So I mean, dating for me now that from what I've been through in my life is more so about qualifying and disqualifying people,
Mm.
big time.
Mm.
Um. So with dating for me, it's not about just sex. It's not just a quick hit because after all I've been through, I don't even want to spend any money on you if I don't even see you as
Mm.
long term. So somebody else is in my life long term. So I mean,
You're
like I
not
said, I
alone.
mean, in a nutshell, dating for me is qualifying and disqualifying. Like I got to the point where I disqualify a moment just as fast as she'll disqualify me if I don't measure up. You know, so it's not. I tell women that all the time. Like I hold you either to a higher standard than you would even hold me. So you think that the body is going to get me attracted to you or things of that nature? I'm not even looking at that. To me, as big as your butt is, your mind state has to be just as big or bigger. That's
Okay.
what attracts me at this point in my life. Otherwise, I'm gonna have more bald spots than I need, and I don't have enough money for men hair care plugs and all that other mess. So dating for me is vetting a woman to get to the point where you possibly my fiance or possibly and past that to be my wife or however I see fit at that, moving forward in life at that time. And that's it. That's all I have to say about that.
Wait. So hold on. You said you don't want to spend no money on her. Like, what the
That's
fuck?
that's that's what I'm saying. I'm like at that point, I have no problem admitting it because what I'm saying is this, Sheba. As hard as I work for my money, as hard as I work for it, I'm not gonna spend it on nobody that ain't worth it. Period. Is what I'm saying. I can't go around just spending my money on every female that says she worth it. Because if she was really worth it, she would have been snatched up a long time ago.
Well, maybe you shouldn't. How do you know that she's not worth it? Why? Why would a guy go for a girl rather he know anyway?
Well, if she's worth it, and no, I see the comment. It's not no money. If she is worth it, if she is worth it for me,
Hmm.
she's gonna prove that. Whether she want to prove it or not, she's gonna prove that to me. And then I would say to myself, okay, young man, this woman is worth that extra mile. Not every, no, I'm not single, baby. My woman right next to me on the panel. So,
Okay.
with that being said, um, that's what it's about for me. And I think the problem is we make a lot of excuses when it comes to dating for people that's unqualified, and then you find out where you went wrong once it's over, and you say, well, I shouldn't have did that, I shouldn't have did this, and you should have had that mind state all from the beginning. It's to keep me out of trouble and keep other people out of trouble. That's all I'm saying. We should have qualities about ourselves or look at our significant other as a person of means. Not every woman should be able to get in my pockets just because we dated. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of women have dug into dudes' pockets, and you kind of find out later that dude wasn't even worth the change that he gave. So what difference does it make? What is it really about?
But
I'm
what is a date if you're not? What is a date when there's nothing? There's no type of investment. You already don't know the individual. You don't know the person if you're just dating them,
Yeah.
unless it's someone who you turn a dating situation into. If you just met them, where is the investment? Investment always is going to start with money because time and emotions come second to money all day long. Because
Hmm.
she has to see where you're willing to take her to eat any damn way. If that's what you know what I mean? If y'all going out on some damn dates, how often you taking her out? People, and
Uh,
unfortunately, a lot of women are looking for the man that can take care of her or someone who can add to that particular type of value to her life. So, what is it? What is the purpose of taking someone to date
uh,
if you're not willing to spend any of your money on them?
no, I'm not saying that I wouldn't spend any amount of money on them. What I am saying is that's not my first end all be all. That's how I'm gonna get her. That's what I'm saying. It's more to me than just my bread and my money.
Right.
And that's all I'm saying. So I'm not saying I'm a cheap person or anything like that, but I'm not gonna lead with my wallet. You earn my wallet.
I
Earn it.
understand.
It ain't no problem. Just earn it. I don't understand why I gotta just come out the pocket and just come buying you stuff, and you say that I'm broke or whatever the case may be. But I done brought you all this Victoria's Secret. We ain't together. That's what the next dude. Now he enjoying the lace fronts and the boy shorts. You know,
Right. Right.
my job ain't to supply your lingerie wardrobe. It's not, or
But
whatever else.
that's you must be that kind of guy. Cause ain't nobody just buying nobody no fucking lingerie, man. That's bullshit. I'm talking
I
you
do.
just told what your problem is right there. Be buying nobody no damn lingerie. That
I'm
ain't
just
your
saying.
goddamn place.
I tell you what, Shiva, you know how many women actually when I went over to their homes or whatever, and I'm knocking off the bed stuffed animals that another dude done brought. I'm like, man, what's up with all this crap, man? Who
Ah,
this?
that's how you
Who
speak, huh?
who's Winnie the Pooh? I don't want to see him. That ain't come from me. I know where it came from. It came from last Valentine's Day, and you still got it. That ain't come from me. I'm straight.
You see that? You see that one right there? If you're dating, y'all go together. Straight up.
If we date and we go together,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, we went together on a date.
No, you the goddamn gather if you buy her fucking lingerie. Because you ain't gonna be buying nobody no lingerie, be lotioning her ass with no goddamn lotion and spraying her ass with no spray if you ain't going with her. You are going with her ass if you are buying that lingerie and shit. I mean, I'm just saying.
Hey man, hey, tag Quill in, man.
Yeah. Wait. Quill get to go last. We're gonna go to Donette and let Donette tell us what she thinks.
Okay.
Good evening, Miss Lady.
Hello. How y'all doing?
We
Um.
doing good. Who in the car with you? Why you got your mask on?
Oh no, because I'm about to get out. Because
Oh,
after talking, sometimes I gotta walk around and stuff.
oh, okay.
But
I understand.
what I was about to say. Um, Dating to me, honestly, it's about reality and being real with who you are. Because if you're gonna date someone, a lot of people come into dating with this mindset where they fake. And they come in all lovey-dovey and this whole nother person who they're not. And then the reason why a relationship can't last is because when you find out who that person really is, you're like, wait, that's not what you showed me in the beginning. So it's like you have to be real with who you are. Anybody who, and I kind of understand where Billy coming from in a way, because you meet a person, you want to get to know that person. You should be in a situation to where you're able to stand 10 toes down for yourself first and not be so quick to depend on a man. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, of course, every woman wants a man because a man is supposed to be a provider. Yes, we do want that. But in the beginning, you shouldn't be looking for a man's pockets, in my opinion. You should be looking for what can this man do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about financially. Like, how can he contribute to my happiness? Money should be the only thing that makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? It does, contribute to your bill, yada yada. But at the same time, do this man beat on me? Is this man a pedophile? You get what I'm saying? These are the questions that you need to, examine or watch or pay attention to when you're dating, not just what's in his pocket. So I kind of feel him a little bit, but then again, you still gotta, do something nice for your girl here and there. But it's about reality and being real. And women, I feel as though, like you were saying earlier, a lot of us women, we're so dependent now to where when a man comes in our life, you get what I'm saying? And it could be because of hurt, it could be because of our past, it could be because of anything, you know what I'm saying? To where we don't even want sometimes that companionship or that dating, you know what I'm saying? Because of what we've been through. That's why a lot of women probably do say, hey, give me the money, give me my $40, give me that $60 or whatever the case may be, because they don't want to deal with the stress of, is my man out there with another woman? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're gonna be dating me, you gotta be real and you have to be loyal and you have to be faithful. And loyalty, I guess I ain't gonna go outside. Hold on. I guess with loyalty, a lot of people don't possess it. Honestly, people don't possess that. So with that being said, it's like, I'm dating you for what? You know, quick nut, I'm on my way. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. Yes, feelings do get involved. Yes, emotions do get involved when you're dating someone or you're having sex with that person. But when you put it in your mind as if basically, I don't want nothing from it. You get what I'm saying? If you want something from it, then you'll put in the work. But a lot of men and women, they don't want it, like Billy said earlier. What he does is, okay, well, you know what? You're not for me, or you are for me, right? But did you really put in the work to see if that person was for you? Did you date that person long enough to really get into their mind to see what it is? Person is giving you a test. Maybe that person has been through some things that you wouldn't understand. So they're closed off at first, and then they just want to see what it is that you can do for them. So, I know I'm a little all over the place with that, but I can see it from both ways in both aspects, of why man don't feel like he should give as much and why a woman feels to be more independent. Because a lot of women nowadays, we wear the pants because our men don't do what they're supposed to do. So, hey, dating to me is, if you're gonna be in my life, be real. Show me who you are at the door. That means if you are a woman beater, when you walk in my door, slap me so I can know that that's who you are. You get what I'm saying? Versus me waiting later down the line and then I realize, you're not really who you say you are. It's about being real to me,
It's
show
about him getting his ass beat up.
right. Yeah, because that's what needs to happen. But I prefer him to slap me on the first day so I can say, okay, you really not for me. And
Right.
since me waiting, I'm dating you, and then a dude come up and speak to me because I'm a beautiful woman, you get mad, we get home, now you beating on me, and I ain't even know because I done fell in love with you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the important part of dating. The reality, you being who you are, open, honest. You get what I'm saying?
Right. I think that, and I think maybe I got dating fucked up in my head, right?
Mhm.
Because to me, a date is merely something that we go to do. We go to do. It's a
Yeah.
place and it's a thing where we hang out, and it's a place where we go sit down and eat, and all of those great things that we could do together. And my ideology about a date. Now,
That's fun.
when we start fucking,
Mhm.
we ain't dating no damn more. We just ain't dating. Now, if we're kicking around and we're just fucking each other, that's one thing. But to actually say that we're doing something and we sleep together, you ain't taking me out and sleeping with me and then gonna tell me that we just fucking dating, bitch. We go together. So that's an issue. So I think maybe I got the fucking game fucked up because
I think it's more of you having an understanding of what that relationship is really about. Again, if you don't understand where your relationship stands with that person, then of course you're gonna feel some type of way. Because even you going on a date with somebody, hanging out with them, guess what? You can still eventually catch feelings if you're doing that on a regular day basis.
correct. We got feelings anyway, and then what you gonna do? Now you gonna damn talking about you damn dating me when we don't start together? You knew I had feelings when I opened my damn legs. Call it what it is.
But that's why I said it comes to it being real. Because now, what if you are dating a person, you going out with this person, and you are what you say, you guys are engaged in sexual activity,
We
sexual
fucking
intercourse, and things as such,
sorry.
then my thing is this: what was established? What if this man has a woman or a girlfriend? You know what I'm saying? But he's just there for the fun. So a lot of people, they don't want the attachment, the name attached to it. They just want the fun to
Well, that's why they have so many damn problems.
it.
Because if you had a damn woman, you shouldn't be taking me on no damn date anyway.
That's true,
You know
but you
what I
gotta
mean?
true, but the world that we live in today, this is what we accept. A lot of women, not me, but a lot of women, they accept that. They say, you know what? Oh, he's fine. It's always they wanting what the next person has. So that's why they go for it. And they
Yeah.
think in their mind, it's a mental thing. Because in their mind, they think, oh, I could do this. But in reality, they just as messed up as the next person.
Right. Well, I want to fight. I'm just don't play with me like that. Don't be playing with my damn feelings. Cause
That's
then we
right.
go out on a date, we hanging out, and then now you rubbing on my booty and touching my hand. Don't do that. You know you dated me. So I think that I wonder if I'm fucked up, but I think people are fucked up, and I think a lot of us women has really fucked up the game of dating because, like, when you think about dating, it's a moment. It's like when we were younger, when I was younger, people did a courtship. That's dating. Someone that you're getting to know. You're going out, you're hanging out, y'all having fun together. You know what I mean? You don't touch nobody booty and be kissing them in their mouth and then talk about y'all friends. Nobody. So like I don't know. Maybe I'm goddamn
No,
crazy.
I guess with that, they're friends with benefits. You get what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
don't
Because they
understand that.
benefit from that. That's where that's where the money that's where the money that Billy was talking about come from because they satisfy that need. Maybe they need a little sex, so they hey, let me get $100, let me get $60, let me get $80. They're gonna do it. It's a new
Right.
way of blackmail. It's a new and a smarter way to blackmail a person when you really think about it. You don't get
Never thought about it like that, Donna.
huh?
Never thought about it like that.
Yes, because guess what? You know who his girl is. She know who your dude is. Oh, you don't want to pay my light bill? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna inbox your girl and let her know what we got going on. Now that friends with benefits turned into somebody getting killed. So it's like
Nobody's getting killed.
pretty much.
Some people are crazy, Dar.
Oh, that I know. I'm a huge Snapped fan. Trust me, I know. I totally know. I
Billy,
am
what you
very
got to
aware.
say? Billy, you talking to us?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm unmuted now. I'm really just listening. I want to hear what
Yeah, he got
Core
some
had to
good
say
stuff,
on the
and his phone
topic.
went out.
Yeah.
He got some good stuff. I'm hoping he come back.
Yeah, the dating scene, I would agree with Dora, it has changed. I really believe that women do have the power to shape the dating scene how they like, especially at this time. I mean, I haven't been living that long, so I know y'all, Sheba, you and Dara can speak to this. That the dating scene
Yep.
isn't what it used to be at all. But at the same time, women nowadays have more power. I mean, if you could get a woman to come over here and she tell you about a WAP and she want her WAP, the WAP wants you to take her to wherever and you do it, you got power. So with that being said, I would have to raise the question: do women like what they're getting right now? Because you got the power to change it, but it ain't being changed. So, do you really like this crap? Because I mean, I'm like, well, yeah, y'all accept it. The dude that wear the pants off his behind, you accept it. The dude that's a Madden king, he
Right.
held on the Madden sticks, you accept it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I
That's a
don't
that's
know,
a great
lady.
that's a great question. Aquilus, we were just getting ready to get to you when your phone threw you off. So welcome back and what's good? Let's talk.
What it do? What it do?
Now,
What's going on?
so the floor is yours. Let's talk about dating. What's your ideologies on this stuff?
Um, Dating has definitely changed. The idea of it and the even the definition of it has changed. The experience of it has changed. Because dating is no longer how how back in the days it used to be. When you're dating, you're with this person, one man, one woman. It's exclusive. Now it's you have the talking, then you have the dating, then you have dating exclusively, and then you have relationship. So it's like all these definitions are just makes dating confusing. But I will say this: dating, dating is depends on who you're talking to, and it all depends on that person's definition. For example, my definition of dating is still the same, which is why I don't date. I don't do the whole relationship dating thing. I just enjoy being single. I like to go out and have a good time. I have female friends, of course. But as far as with dating, the dating game has definitely changed because it's more so about um, people are not people are really dating what it seems like literally just for social media and for other people, and it also feels like they're dating just because it's almost like what can I get out of it? What can I get out of this situation? Like, um, you have some people that they're dating because the time is ticking. You have some people that are dating because they are lonely. They out of fear of being by themselves. You have some people dating because um, they can't. They're looking for help. They're not looking for love. And then you got some people that date because it's convenient.
Mm.
You know, so dating is it's definitely a different ball game these days. Definitely a different ball game.
Do you think it's something that women could do to change the game of dating
It
as it currently is right now?
it's a change needed on both sides. It's not just women. It ain't just women because to say that it's the woman's fault. If you say it's the woman's fault, you have to say it's the man's fault. If you say it's the man's fault, you have to say it's the woman's fault. It's not. It's not a one size. It's not a one sided situation because
Okay.
both of us are part of it. So it can't just be a one sided situation. You
All right.
know.
I agree. I totally agree. I kind of left speechless because you said something earlier. You say I'm not in the whole dating thing. I mean, you and I have our conversations outside of anything else, and a lot of what you say makes a lot of sense. Like you just don't allow yourself to get tied in because you know how these types of things kind of end up. And I think that's a safe to say. And I think sometimes as people tend to think that what they think about a person is so much more important than the whole person. And I
Exactly.
don't know if that makes sense. And it drives me up the wall because what makes you what makes you qualified enough to life that you have to be sure about me in that capacity. And to me, like, I understand you don't want anybody in your personal energy if you
Right.
can control that.
Right.
But just to say that person is not worth something, it changes the game of it because it's almost as if you're saying that that person is not worth anything because they're
Mm-hmm.
not worth it to you as
Mm-hmm.
the person, and that's unfair. It just might not work for you, but that doesn't change the worthiness of the individual.
This is very true.
You know what I mean? So that's really dynamic to have said. And a lot of women say, "Oh, he ain't shit," and I'd be like, "Well, what makes you shit?
Mm.
Who the fuck are you to make you shit to say that he ain't shit?" That's
Mm-hmm.
unfair because now you're telling yourself that you're this better person over another individual because of your ideology of the whole person, and that's wrong.
Right.
And you know what
So,
I think that also has to deal with? Self
mhm,
insecurities, self love,
mhm,
self insecurities, acceptance. A lot of people. I'm sorry, Quill, to cut you off, but
yeah,
I think a lot of people because they may see something in you that was done to them, or they may think in their mind that you're really too good for me. They can't accept it because they're already damaged and they're already destroyed. So they don't want to come and they don't want to interrupt, but they don't know how to tell you, listen, I don't want to destroy you as an individual because I'm damaged. You get what I'm saying? So what they do is they try to take their insecurities and throw them on the person that you're not and create this ideal person of who you're like, well, how do you know I'm like this? You didn't give me a chance. It's because of who they are inside. That's how I feel.
And
that's solid.
and to piggyback off what you're saying, Donette, like
Yes.
when I tell people I'm not dating, and the first thing they think is, oh, who hurt you, or what business hurt you, and this and that, and people think I'm anti-love. I'm not. No, I'm not anti-love. I'm just pro living my best life. You did what I'm saying? So,
Right.
because you have some people, it's crazy. Some people actually think the goal in life is marriage.
Hmm.
They
Mm,
actually think that's the top priority in life. And when in reality, the top priority in life, the number one is fulfilling a purpose, and second of all, that peace of mind is everything.
right,
It
Right.
is everything. You can't put a dollar amount on it.
right.
So it's like it's like I ask people, I tell people, look, I'm not, I enjoy being single, and of course they'll hit me with a slick comment, oh, you just want to be a thought, you just want to run around and sleep with all these women. I was like, and I entertain, I'm like, yeah, that too, but aside from that, I just like enjoy being single. Like dating for me, I'm not saying I'll never be in a relationship, but I'm not. It's not priority in
Well,
my
can I
life
ask
right
you a
now.
question, Quill?
What happened?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I like how you think. You said something that was profound, right? But
Mhm.
then I have to agree to disagree, right? Now,
Sure.
you said that number one purpose in life is to fulfill your purpose, right?
Right.
But maybe that could be their purpose, where marriage is their purpose to be a wife and to be a mother. Maybe that is their best skill. You know what I'm saying? So we
Mhm.
can't say that either. Maybe that's what they know that they could be good at. That's why they were put on this earth, to
Right.
be a mother and to be a wife, to fulfill those needs. Now, I don't feel like that's everyone's purpose, but
Sure.
it may be a purpose to other people, because I can't really say what's your priority in life. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mhm.
what's your purpose? You have to know what your purpose is in life. Just like me, I have to know what my purpose is in life. So marriage should be a goal, but I don't think to some people it is their top goal because maybe they feel that that's their purpose. But like you said, I do agree with fulfilling your purpose and running up your goals and living life. Because when you get into these relationships, when you start dating people, I feel like that stuff, you can no longer be selfish. When you're dating someone,
Yep.
it's no longer about yourself, what you
Mhm.
want to do as an individual. You have to now consider that next person's feelings and what they like to do. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so you guys, it's now the best word to use. It is now a compromise,
Right.
because that's what relation. If you can't pass the dating stage, you can't make it into a relationship or a marriage.
Hell no. Hell no.
If you're a selfish person, if you're a selfish person, you don't need to be in a relationship, because
Mhm.
that other person is gonna need something from you.
So let me ask you a question, Darnell. That was deep. Let me ask you a question though. If
Yes, ma'am.
your purpose, if the purpose of anyone is to be that wife or that mother, and the person that she set out to give it to is not willing to accept it as what her purpose is, she'll never serve her purpose
Not true.
because she can never in your purpose it should be some comfortability. If the person that you're trying to give something to can't receive it, then you're never going to fulfill your purpose.
Well, now I'm gonna answer that with this. Sometimes we tend to, how can I say it? We tend to gravitate to people who we think is for us. And that person is not for us. That person was put in our life for a season. They were just meant to come in our life to teach us something. But we get so caught up in that moment to where we lose focus and we say, oh, this is the man I'm supposed to be with. This is the man I'm supposed to marry. And in reality, no, this person only was supposed to be there to teach you a lesson. So you have to make the decision to where, is this person really for me? And sometimes what we do is we ignore the signs of what people try to show us in the beginning. We'll see it right in front of us. We'll see that red flag. But because we're so blinded by the word lust and we use it as love, because love is different from lust. We lust so much after a person to the point that we can't see who that person really is. Other people can see that person for who they are because they don't feel the same way we feel. They warn us about that person, they tell us about that person, but we don't have an ear to hear what is being said because of that L word, lust. We're lusting after what that person can do for us, but we're not really in the heart of that person. And then we have to ask ourselves, I know I'm good enough for this man, but the question is this man really good enough for me? How is he proving that he's good enough for me? Sometimes we look at one thing in a person and say, okay, he has the whole package. When we need to really sit down and evaluate and look at all the good things and look at all the bad things. And then we need to put them on a scale and weigh them and say, okay, where am I going? Is it going down or is it going up? Why am I just in love or in lust with this one thing about this person?
which
So
means that she'll never fulfill her purpose.
what
If
she
what she's found in him is not what she assumed it was, because she's ignoring all those red flags, so and I only asked that question because Phil said a little bit earlier that a lot of people's end goal seems to be that they think marriage is the end goal.
Okay.
And I think that when people start dating, I think they forget that that's exactly what they're doing. And they're dating. That's what you're doing. Once you start sleeping together, you're developing a different type of relationship. And people dating don't develop relationships until they're out of that dating phase. So is it
Right.
really dating? I think that we have mislabeled
Okay.
what dating is.
Of
Because
course.
if we're exclusively dating, then that means that we're in a different type of relationship. We're not dating anymore. When we start sleeping together, we're fucking each other. So now we're not just dating. When we're sleeping together, we're no longer just friends. When feelings are involved, like Quillis can call me, we have a chit chat. We can talk about women all day. Not a problem. If me and Aquila start sleeping together, that shit gonna be a problem. Because he's
Right.
no longer just my friend. So
Most
when people
definitely.
use the term friends with benefits, it's no the only benefit of having a friend with benefits is that they can give you some money when you need it. That's the only benefit a friend can offer because sex creates feelings that you can't control. So at that point, you're not even dating.
Well, let me say this. Let
Go
me say
on,
this.
let's have some.
I do have a lot of friends with benefits. Like I do.
Whatever.
So
Are we talking about sexual
yeah,
partners
we
Yeah,
as
can
he
well?
ain't no
strictly
damn
sex.
Oh,
benefit.
okay.
Yeah, strictly sex. So with me, so what I found out interesting enough what works
We're
these
getting a lot
days
of
for me.
feedback.
Can you hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Okay, yeah, we hear you better now. Somebody's that was giving a lot of
Okay.
feedback.
So what I found out what works better for me these days, interestingly enough, is actually telling women from the jump what's going on with me. So I'm very honest with them. I'm like, look, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm just looking to have friends. If we have sex, then it's all good. But I just want to let you know, like, I'm not looking for a relationship or anything. Now, where it gets confusing, where it gets confusing is when we start sleeping together. Of course, emotions grow and all this other stuff, but I'm always it's not one of those where we're sleeping together and I change my habit. Because you have some men that will start you have some men that say, "Oh, we just rocking, we just having we just, we just sleeping together." All of a sudden, you guys are spending more time on the phone. You guys are spending a lot of time together. Whereas what I do is, I'm honest with you, and we can talk, we can chop it up, no pressure. But we're not talking, we're not doing the late nights on the phone and all this other stuff because I realize that um, if you just having sex with that person and you start changing the routine. Oh, you're right, Patricia. Those women don't feel the same. And interestingly enough, that's why a lot of times we end up falling out because they always want something more. And the only thing I can say is that at least we respect each other to tell each other, look, I'm honest with you. I was honest with you, but I don't want nothing more. And granted, some get mad, some respect it, but at the end of the day, for me, the peace where I find peace is at least I was being honest with you. At least I was being honest with you all the way through. This wasn't just we become friends. All of a sudden we start sleeping together. All of a sudden I switch routines. No, I don't do that. Like I'm honest with you all the way through. And like I said, if it gets to a point where you feel like what, I can't handle this no more. I wanted to be more. I want more friends. This is true. This is true. But but at the end of the day, she the woman can't say hey, he was lying to me. He misled me. He did this. He wasn't telling me the truth. Because at the end of the day, I always let them know, like, look, ladies, you're gonna run into guys that's gonna tell you everything you want to hear. They're gonna tell you everything you want to hear. But I'd rather be honest with you. I'd rather if we're just having sex, I'd rather just be that. And granted, if we fall out, or you walk away, or we both end up going our separate ways, or we end up saying, I don't think it's gonna work out. I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. But I.
But
Mhm.
but what you should know, and I think this is where a lot of fellows make the mistake,
Mhm.
and I'm sure that women come with their own type of mistake. Once you become sexually involved with a woman, for the most part, it changes the dynamic.
Mm.
There are some women, and when I say some, I mean the term some
Right.
women who can handle that.
Right.
But most women can't handle that. So if you know that most women can't handle that, then there's some bridges you just don't cross. So that's the problem that we're having. And I think that's why I think dating has been misrepresented.
Right.
Because once you say, I'm dating you, like you and I, we went down to the art museum. We went Dutch. You paid your way, I paid mine. We were hanging out.
Right.
You and me, we're friends. We went to the coffee thing. We're friends. We went to
Compa dancing. Compa dancing.
yeah, we went compa dancing, but we're friends.
Right.
And there's no boundaries there. Because that's what friends do.
Right.
If we were gonna be dating, you would say, Sheba, depending upon what kind of dating we're doing. If we're Dutch dating, then of course we're gonna pay our way. If we're just dating and we're trying to see where we're going, you might pay the way sometimes, but then I might pay the way sometimes.
Right.
Because we're dating.
Mm-hmm.
But once you turn over that leaf, it becomes something different. And that's why so many people are broken, because they don't understand what it means to really be dating someone. Go on, Donette. She just unmuted herself. She got something to say.
You know what? Before Donette even, hey, you know what? I caught that Donette. Me and you did that at the same time. I ain't gonna say nothing, but I caught that.
Okay, Blue, you know what time it is.
Yes, I do. It's 8:01. So
Asshole, you asshole.
I swear.
I mean, with the whole thing, and I am so curious to that little person down there on the bottom right side of me. I'm so curious because Dara got some stories, and I know they are cooped up in there. And I want them to come out so bad, Miss Dara. I really do. But as far as the another thing with the dating scene, 'cause I'm gonna shake it up a little bit. I'm gonna just gonna put it out there because a lot of females think they worth dating. Number one, and a lot of us dudes accept the bullshit, and then the girl find out later on through our actions. Well, that really depends, but she found out later on through her actions. Oh, he wasn't the one. He wasn't this. He wasn't that. And it's like, no, boo boo, you wasn't the one. You wasn't shit. I fucked you and I left you. I played and did the same blueprint every other dude been doing in your life, or most of them. And yet you still want to say it's every other guy. It ain't you. It's your way or the highway. Your formula ain't working. Your 2 + 2 = 16. And you still can't figure it out. Still can't figure it out. And you know, a lot of women think they have good quality to even be courted or paid for on the first date. Who was that, Brown? Where you at? Man, you gotta hop on Sheba podcast, man. Sheba go. Anyway, but yeah, a lot of females think they worth dating. And I'm not afraid to admit it. Like I really don't spend my time on every fat ass that come past my way or every fake implant that I see up top. It don't excite me. I was telling my baby about that the other night. I said I want to get attracted to your mind. I don't care how your body look. That shit go break down sooner or later anyway. You know, I gotta be able to fuck with you when you got one leg and your breath back.
But if you know she ain't worth it, why waste any of your time dating her to begin with?
Because us dudes, a lot of the time, Sheba ain't gonna lie, us dudes be driven by our dicks. Now, I'm not saying my dick haven't got me in no trouble, thank God. Nothing I couldn't get away from. But a lot of us is just driven for the moment. For the let me see how wet
Okay.
it is, and then I'm out of there. It's the honest truth.
So is it her or is it you for what you're looking for? Because if you know what you know about women after after all of your experiences,
Uh huh.
why would you expect anything different of her or them in that regard?
Well, the reason why I would say I expect different of her, just not to put it all off on her, but for the most part, women say they're smarter than men, more intelligent than men. They have it more figured out than guys. You control the dating world, so I'm like, that's why I said earlier what I said about the power thing. Like, you got the power, so I'll put it off on you. But at the same time, a dude got to be responsible enough and be well reserved enough to know where he should be putting his attention to and sticking his dick at. Period.
True,
If
true.
a lot of dudes just pull back right now, got off the plantation of saying I'm gonna fuck everything I see and pay attention, I think it would be a fucking riot. Because women, I honestly, really swear to God, I think that women wouldn't know what the hell to do. Nobody bills getting paid around here.
Because I pay my own bills. You ain't got to pay shit for me.
I'm just saying on a majority scale, Sheba, you know everybody ain't like everybody ain't got it together. Everybody ain't
Just like some people think that dick controls shit. Dick don't control shit. We handle our own shit. If more women probably get a little bit more connected with themselves, especially in the dating world,
Sheba,
she'll
why?
find out she don't need him anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Sheba, let me ask
Hold, go on, Donette.
let me
Hold on,
ask
let Donette talk.
you just said something. You just said something amazing. You just said that a lot of women they think that dick run the world, right? Or pussy run the world, right? So why is it that you can't be if we're gonna have that mentality or that mindset, then why does it matter about dating or friends with benefits if dick don't do it to a person? You know what I'm saying? If dick didn't do anything or well, you know what, I don't even like to say that so much. If
Oh,
sexual,
it's okay. Be free.
it's okay.
Yeah. This Talk Tuesday, honey, everything goes.
Okay, well, if those things didn't matter, which they do, and the reason why they do, because guess what? Like you said earlier, it would be a contradiction in a way because it matters because you begin to catch feelings for a person, especially if that person giving you that good. Yes, God, we did him. You know what I'm saying? Woo, that booty was big and it was wet. So I feel like yes, sex does play a big role in that. So
Yeah, sex does play a big role. Sex does play a big role, but not in dating. I think that's where I am. Because I think that once you start sleeping with people, you're not just dating anymore.
Mhm.
That's why I think the problem is. And I think a lot of us have that misconception because a lot of us can't hold out because we think that we really need it, is what I'm saying. Not
Oh,
that it's not good. I never say that.
right.
And if you got the right fella and he hitting that bitch in the right way and he hit the right corners that everybody can't touch, yeah. But we should never
hold on. So
we
if we smash, we go
fuck yeah. Put your stick your dipstick in my shit, bitch. We go together. Fuck
That
you
shit
mean?
crazy.
And I'm serious. Putting
Okay,
your mouth in my shit, bitch. Don't do shit to me. Let me tell you, I got a piece. It say what makes you the man. What makes you the man? Because you got a dick. Because with the five fingers on my right hand, I take care of my own shit.
If I smash
Fuck
one
me if,
time, we go together.
fuck me if you want to. We go together. Put your dick in my pussy if you want to.
but does that man is that man in agreement to y'all?
And I'm not in agreement with him. So there we go. We both disagree.
So, and now you see where the problem comes in,
No,
right?
but that's you see, people say that.
Huh?
People say that. People say that. That shit robs me of my peace. Because people say, well, what does he think? No, what the fuck do I think?
Right. So that's what I'm saying right there with what you're saying. So again, the fact that you two different people two different people.
Yeah, we go together, bro.
Hell yes. Keep your dick in your pants.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with
What
my
about,
pussy.
what about
I'm just
taking
one of them. But I'm very straightforward with people too. Because a lot of guys will just want to bang you. But you ain't gonna be fucking at my walls. If you
Ain't no
fuck with
casual
me,
chick.
we go together.
Damn.
No
That's
demolition.
just the bottom fucking line.
Nigga scared of that pussy.
You better be. I take care of my own shit if that shit.
I ain't know. I can talk shit in the background, y'all.
You stupid, man. Donnell,
Dora, I want to hear what you got to say. Dora, come on, Miss
come
Belly
on,
Ring.
Donna.
Your little baby.
No.
What would you like to know? What would you like to know?
What are you thinking of? What are you thinking about this conversation?
You know, listen, I can appreciate both sides as far as the traditional, dating and the friends with benefits. You know, when sex is involved and feelings get involved, I totally get it. I understand 100%. I don't know. I guess I'm a rare breed, so to speak. I guess maybe I'm able to put up a wall to a certain extent because, again, when sex is involved, feelings get involved. And, when you care for the person, as I do, but there's just not that, that quote unquote locked in commitment, so to speak. Listen, I'm 51 years old. I've been married 3 times. I'm good. It's an equal understanding. There's no misunderstanding here. So again, I'm honestly dating. I have no interest. Quite
Y'all hearing that?
Hear me?
No, we can't hear you.
It's just breaking up, Dora, like a robot. You sound like a robot.
Okay, I hear y'all.
Okay, here.
You're breaking out real bad, Dara.
Let me hop on and come back on.
Okay.
All right, let's hop on.
Okay.
Donnell. That's what. See what holding out get you.
What were you thinking, Donnell?
Y'all funny. Billy, please.
Billy funny.
Billy is very, very funny. Just every day. What Ben has to understand, Sheila, is this, sweetie. It's not that we're not worth it. It's that they got to work on their A game. You can hear the opinion score though. Quill, he only wants friends with benefits. And this one right here, well, he don't want.
Oh shit, we lost her.
We ain't need no way.
You an asshole. Oh, hold on. Donnell.
I'm sorry.
He talking shit.
That's what he do. He's a Libra. Y'all have the perfect opinionated person on him. Right, Blue?
You heard that, Blue? Blue give us all a bad name.
Blue. I was talking. Matter of fact, I was talking to Blue today, and Blue said, I asked him. I said, well, you don't celebrate holidays and stuff like that. He said something profound that was so amazing. He was like, "Oh, if you think you like me now, just wait till I don't go to no Christmas, no Thanksgiving." Blue, but
You an asshole.
No Valentine's, no none of that. Like, we won't do that.
I
Dara,
ain't no.
can you hear us okay?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes, we can hear you. So give us that thought you were giving us.
Okay,
But you right.
so my thought was, as far as, yes, I can appreciate both sides as far as traditional dating. And if we're
Mhm.
sleeping together, I absolutely get it. And as I had said earlier, listen, I'm not interested in dating. I've been married 3 times. I'm good. And the relationship that I have, it's we see eye to eye. We get it. We've known each other for a very long time. 51 years old. I'm just not into the dating scene. So I'm tired. I've done it. And it's it's a good thing that we have, and there's no pressure and there's no commitment, but yet I would say we care about each other, absolutely, but there's no lockdown, so to speak.
Are you
What?
guys sexually involved?
Huh?
Are you sexually involved?
Involved? I would say so, yes. Now,
I was really
So you're telling me you've been sexually involved with this person for how long and you haven't?
it's 2 years.
For 2 years and there are no feelings. So that means if you were to walk out the house and you were to sleep at the neighbor's house,
Mhm.
affect you in any way?
If I saw him with another, would it bother me? Yeah. Will I lose sleep over it? Because I can't, I'm not in that position to squawk at him, I guess, so to speak. It's an equal relation. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's a rare relationship. I've known him for a very, very long time, and it is what it is. We have a great time together. That's it. I mean, I can't.
Can I ask you another question? Has he ever put you in that position?
As far as what, me seeing him with someone else?
Mhm.
Yes, actually. So I had to learn to, kind of come full circle with it. I'm not going to, it was uncomfortable for me, but I also had to understand that I knew from the beginning. So it wasn't anything like that I didn't know. So
Okay.
it's a different kind of relationship, friendship, whatever you want to call it. Have I used him as saying, because if a guy approaches me, and I've gotten approached by many men, and I'm like, oh, do I say, oh, I have a boyfriend? Yeah, just to back him off, because again, I'm just not interested in dating. It's a very comfortable. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's comfortable. We've never gotten into an argument. There's no, jealousy or anything like that. It's a good thing. Again, we've known each other for a long time. We're, 50, 51 years old. We ain't kids. We get it.
I wish I would say that. I wish I could feel that way. I ain't cut from that type of cloth. And it's not, you're actually not uncommon. That is a very common situation that's reoccurring all the time. And I myself have a situation a lot similar to that. But I'm fighting. I'm not like you. See, I'm fucked up. I ain't come from that type of cloth. If I catch her with someone, he gonna run me one. We don't talk about that. She might run me one too. But that's just who I am.
I wouldn't have anything to do with a woman unless the woman personally knows me.
What happened, Q?
I think Quill.
On mute.
Who, me?
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that better, Q?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, I had him muted.
Oh.
No, I was telling Sheba I couldn't hear her.
I was telling Dara that she has a common
Yeah, I still can't
situation.
hear Sheba. I still can't hear Sheba.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
No, I
What's
can't
wrong
hear
with
you.
your ears?
No, I can't. I
can hear you.
Maybe go back
You
out.
can hear them, but you can't hear me.
What you
You can
say?
hear them, but you can't hear me.
No, I can't
Oh,
hear him.
go back out. Come back in.
It's them headphones. You need to take them off.
No, it ain't the headphones. I still hear Darnett. I hear Dara, but I can't
How
hear
you know what I just said then? It's them headphones. You need to take them off.
No, I'm saying.
How you know what I just said then? It's them headphones. You need to take them off.
Because it's feedback.
Turn the headphones
it's
off.
echoing.
Well, we can hear you
I
just
can't
fine.
hear you.
Can y'all tell them that?
Turn the headphones off. Turn your Bluetooth off.
Tell them again.
You can hear better now?
Hey.
Say something, Shaper. Yeah, I hear it's I hear, but it's delayed a little bit.
So, questions?
Yeah, I was just saying I wouldn't go after the woman, Shiva. Go after the man because he owes me that respect and that loyalty. But if I know that woman personally, then that's when it's gonna be some pressure because
They're both getting it. I'm getting them both.
You know what? Mine is a
I'm
different
a whole lion. I'm jumping on him because you know better.
I'm gonna get him too, but I'm getting her too.
But what if you don't know?
She'll find. Hey, she'll damn find out.
story.
Wait.
With that being said, as far as the other female, so to speak, I guess, like I said, I'm just a different breed, so to speak. We're actually friends, believe it or not. I just, because I guess I have a certain wall that's up that I'm just not going to get hurt emotionally. And I kind of just stick to that mantra of it is what it is. It's not like we're going to be walking down the aisle or living together, or we're good company with each other. And that's it. And there are times that we've been together and there's been, no physical activity. And that's fine.
So you don't feel any emotion? Like that doesn't hurt you at all? Or you just have learned to cope with it?
I would probably say a little bit of both. I'm human, I bleed red just like everybody else. I have a heart, we have feelings, and I got over it real quick. So
can I ask you a question, Dara? It may come off a little blunt, but know your perspective, and I hope it's not offensive what I may say to you.
Okay.
But you said that was a friend, right?
I'm sorry?
The girl that you saw was a friend, right? Are you still currently seeing this person now?
You mean, okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. We still hang.
Does that play a part with, because I don't know, for me, I don't know, because I'm not you. Like, I just feel like that's disrespectful in all walks of life, because regardless of.
Oh, I've talked to him about it. Don't get me wrong.
Has he done it? But why continue to disrespect your body, your self-worth for him when you could find another man who will probably be friends with benefits, but your company?
She's satisfied.
It's not so much that I'm satisfied as far as that other relationship was concerned with the other female, what have you. Okay. Right. And there's a dynamic that I'm not going to divulge, so to speak. So there's no, what's the word? Physical elements. involved here. So from her side, so again, this is just, I'm not going to go all out and, spill all the beans on the table, but just to say that I am aware. He knows I'm aware. She knows I'm aware. And again, she and I are friends. Okay. We are all adults. I know, the back end of the whole story. And, I've talked to him about it. So again, it's not like he doesn't realize that I'm not aware, because I'm very aware, but again, there's a different part that gets, I don't want to go too deep on that part,
Right.
but it wasn't that relationship wasn't as deep as as ours. Let me put it to you that way. Because we spend time together, and to me, time is we'll never get that time back. You want to spend time with people that you care for, and that you have good company and good energy and good vibrations, and that's it. You want to call a part of it as a wall or an emotional, again, I've been around the block, not a hoe, but I've been around the block. Okay. So I'm experienced. Okay. I got this. Okay. This is not for the weak hearted. That's it. And that's it.
I think that's very solid. And, I wonder, I always wonder, and Darnett, you can answer this for me. And this is a piggyback off of something you just said.
Mm-hmm.
I always wonder, why do people say you're worth more than that? Why do people say that? Because like for me, for instance, I have enjoyed loving the person that hurt my heart the worst. I enjoy loving them. And I've been through some pretty rough spots, and I've jumped on his ass. I'm a pretty nigga, praise Yahweh, he's never let me get into anything I couldn't get my ass out of. But I'm a little on the nutty side. And people tend to ask that question, like, you don't think you can find another man? Well, what if part of my worth was counting the bodies that I've been engaged with? What if part of my thought of my worth was that situation? And maybe that's not one of those things I'm willing to go any further with. Although this hurts me, it makes me feel a little bit better in that regard. So I wonder why so many women ask that question. Why do people ask that question?
I ask that question because if you are a good woman, for example, we've all been drugged down, but I'm going to speak for me. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I was with someone who, again, I was in love with. I felt as though this man was the whole package. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing everything to make him happy, right? But I'm losing myself for who I am, and I'm not focusing on my self-love and my self-worth. I mean by self-worth, knowing who I really am and what I deserve. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm putting it all, I'm depositing everything that I have inside of this man. And in the process, I'm losing him. The reason why I'm not losing him, I'm losing me as an individual. Why? Because the things that he's doing, I know I don't deserve. Even though I know, yes, it feels good, it looks good, but he's giving me, honestly, he's not giving me the 80% that I need. He's giving me the 20% of my desire. So that's why I ask women, you know who you are. You should be confident, but maybe some women don't. But I know who I am, and I know my worth, what I deserve. I know my value, and I can't be bought with a product. And I know I don't deserve to be treated this way. But again, the word lust is something that we're blinded by, and we forget who we are because we're too busy depositing everything we have into this man who makes us feel good, but doesn't necessarily treat us good and doesn't necessarily look at us the way he's supposed to, So that's why I ask women, I know you know that you're worth more than what you're getting, pretty much. You deserve more than what's being required. But it's not me to tell them. They have to open their eyes to see for themselves, which it took me a very long time because Sheba, I can relate to you. But I realized that it was a lack in me as an individual that I didn't love Darnett, that I didn't respect me because I was willing to allow this man to do all this stuff and I would continue to run back to him.
No,
And then I one day open my eyes up and say, you know what? This is really hurting me. This is killing me. I went through a depression, like to the point where me and him was like this, Sheba. I couldn't even go to sleep without him. Like I lost so much weight. I'm thick now, y'all. But
Damn.
I lost so much weight. My edges, I got edges. My edges grew back. Everything just started, you know. I started. It was like I was deteriorating for this man. And guess what? He was living his best life. So that's why I asked women, when it's all said and done, what will you be working in after this person has dragged you out like that?
Right.
What do you deserve?
Because sometimes I think it comes, and it might just be me and the way I think. Thank you, Sham. And not really so much when it's used toward me, because I don't feel like it's used against me. I think that people have perfect intentions. I think people have perfect intentions when they're doing when they say certain things. But I think sometimes people don't realize how it affects other people when we say certain things. And worth is one of those things. It's almost like it can't, a person can't totally be valued, you know, in my ideology. So I think when people say that, sometimes it sounds condescending toward the individual that we're saying it to, especially from one woman to another, because she do love herself. She does, but she loves him too. And that's the part of her. What she loves about him is a part of the love that she has for herself. So many people discount that. And I think that people discount it because they don't understand what it is that the other person could very well be feeling. I love loving the guy who breaks my heart the most. I love loving him. I love what it feels like loving him. And when he make me mad, it hurts, and then I get over it. If we have to go through it and argue or whatever the case might be, we do. And when I get tired of going through it, I just kind of walk away from it at, you know, for whatever that moment is. You know what I mean? But it's not because I don't love him, and it's not because I don't love Sheba. I just love him too. And that's why I think that the whole dynamic of dating has changed. Because now, if he loved me with the same intensity that I love him, then he would have left me alone when we were just friends. He would have left me being his friend, actually dating me without ever needing more from me. So now it's at a position like I'm okay to date, but sometimes I ain't no damn cake. You know, sometimes I want to fight about it. I'm one of those people. But it doesn't mean that I don't love me. Now, some things I could probably value about my time, how much of my time I'm wasting. But it's not because I'm worthless. It has nothing to do with the worthiness, even of the individual. So that's from that perspective is why I asked you that, because I think a lot of women discount other women's feelings because they don't understand that feeling.
Well, like I was saying earlier, when I started to really love me and I started to really understand who I was and who I am, value me, I started to change my view on things. And I began to change my view on life. And I began to realize my value and the way that I need to be treated and the way that I feel like I should be treated, what I needed to change about me. And I started to look in the mirror because I'm not address me. I can't address anybody, but I'm address me. When I started to love me, that's when I realized that everybody who comes in my life cannot be a part of my energy, and they cannot be a part of of my life. They can't date me. We can probably, hey friend, how you doing? Text here and there, but like you said earlier, like we were discussing, everybody's just not meant for you as a person. And when you open when me as an individual, I'll put it like that, when I open my eyes to realize that that person was only dragging me down, and I started to realize that I began to open my eyes and love me more, that's when I said, okay, you know what? My view began to change. And then I started looking for people for who they really were and what they're really coming in my life for. Because you have people that come in your life just to leech and to take away from you. So I guess, to each his own, like you said. But in my opinion, I feel like worth, if you don't know your value, or you may not know your worth, or you may lack that self-love, then it makes it easier for a person to prey on you and to take advantage. And that's what happened to me. So I can't speak for every other person. When I started realizing me and who I was, and my worth, my self-worth, then I realized that everybody that come in my life, I can't attach them to my energy, and I can't let them just come in my life and treat me any kind of way, or settle for anything less than my expectations. So it all
Right.
depends on that person's expectations as well. What you allow. Me, I'm not gonna allow that. So yeah, everybody has a different view. I totally agree with you.
So your expectations rather than your worth, that might be a little bit different. And
Very
the only
true.
reason why I say that is because I think well, let me say this. A young lady said, and one of my students said today, and I thought it may have been yesterday. It was so solid. I say, a lot of women don't really like women. They're not really good with each other. It's really sad. And the young lady said, but women support women all the time. And I don't know what it was about that meant so much to me. And I think that sometimes we're just remembering ourselves in our broken.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in doing that, we're placing value on something because we're no longer part of it. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes me wonder, how much do we value ourselves if we're not careful with our sisters and the things that we do say? Because somebody loves someone outside of what they do, they could just be loving that person from a different perspective. Because there's things about a person we'll never know, but like the person that's with them. There are
Mm-hmm.
reasons why we stay in situations with people and no one else understands. That doesn't mean that we devalue ourselves. It just means that we know something about this person we're not at liberty to talk about, if that makes sense.
So
Blue, you want to say something?
can I just chime in?
Please chime all the way in.
Oh man, I just
What? Oh shit. Sorry, Billy. Sorry. Sorry, Billy. Keep saying start over because I was trying to mute myself.
no, you okay, Shiva. So what I was saying to the whole standpoint of everybody is different. Everybody brings something different to this world. As long as it's not negative where it's gonna kill anybody, I don't think it's gonna really hurt. But you just have to be wise enough in your walk in life to understand the fork road. And you always got a fork road. No matter how simple the decision is, do I want to go to sleep or do I want to stay up? You always got a fork road. So when people have a promiscuous relationship or they just see the world in a different light from everyone else, everyone has their own fuckery. It's different levels, but everybody got their own fuckery. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to really speak on what I learned to not try to speak on what somebody, however they view it. As long as they ain't fucking up my shit or whatever, or influencing somebody that doesn't really understand something, I'm cool with that. Okay? And so I really don't get, cause like I said, we all got our own fuckery. Trust me. Um, but with that being said, as far as what you said earlier, Sheba, about with the students, yeah, women don't get along with each other for the most part. I hear it all the time. I know we all experience hearing that bullshit. But like the other young lady said, but we support each other because I think a lot of women have a hive mentality. Wherever one fish go in the school, the whole school go left. Whether that get them killed or whatever, we go support. But I'm thinking us men more so are individual thinkers. Quill might want to do one thing, he might suggest I do it, but Bill ass going the opposite way. That's just how it is. With women, I ain't never look. You can never make me understand how you can get up and go to the restroom. You gotta take all your homegirls from the table with you. I just don't. What the hell? Somebody need instructions? I never understood it. And you know what's funny?
Baby, I think some of us go to the bathroom together. Okay, we gotta make sure our makeup, no boogers, don't do us.
Uh huh.
We
Uh
gotta make sure everybody's safe.
huh. And you know what? And you follow each other right into a bad relationship too. If you get the common denominator, most females got the same situation going on. Like real talk, it's ridiculous, you know. So it's to me, I had to learn early that it's two type of women when it comes to making decisions: the ones that follow and it's the ones that make the decisions. You get two. You get the influencer and you get the follower. It's never, whoever that dominant female is, it's your homegirl will call you up and convince you to do some shit against your man that you know damn well you shouldn't even be doing. Knowing damn well. And I know every woman know at least one woman who's that motherfucker, who's that influencer, who's that damn bitch who can't keep no dude. And then when you turn around and hang around this girl, you can't keep nobody either. And you still support it.
So is she the one that ain't worth having?
Oh hell yeah, she ain't worth having. You can get that goddamn. I forgot what that motherfucker ain't even Eve. She ain't even Eve. I forgot what you call that. That's Lilith. Get that bitch the fuck away from you. Get her away.
You stupid man. You stupid man.
I'm dead ass serious. I was just talking another young lady about that. How could she let her homegirls, like I was telling my baby? I said, don't talk to your homegirls about me, especially if they ain't got no dude. If they ain't got no dude, don't talk to them about me. Cause I'm telling you, they gonna influence you to do some fuck shit, and I ain't the person. Now they ain't gonna influence you not to talk to the motherfucker who ain't doing shit with us like that, but they'll say don't talk to him. He ain't no good for you. I ain't whoop nobody ass. That's all I'm saying. Hey, you need to watch the company you keep. Common denominator. Hey, Dora.
Well, this has been. Oh shit, there go Darnett. This is really. Hey, Darnett. This has
Hey,
really been one of those conversations, and I never really thought that this could be a controversial conversation that
Right.
would be seen in so many different people's eyes differently. And I'm appalled, and I've learned a lot tonight, as always. Like I always learn something on Talk Tuesday. I always learn something. And so that you guys know that we cannot host Talk Tuesdays without either of you. Like we can't do this. I can't be Talk Tuesday. I can't. So let me say thank you. And on the subject of dating and what your concepts of what dating looks like and how has it been for you and what would be something that you leave on Talk Tuesday for the people who will listen or the people who are listening now. So let's
I
start
think
with
like
Quill.
Darnett
Quill, can you hear me? Quillis, can you
No.
hear me? He can't hear me. Oh, let's see if we can hear you.
she said
Hey,
talk.
Can
Yeah,
you hear,
I can hear you.
can you hear me?
can you hear them?
Yeah, I'm saying I hear Dara, I hear Blue, and I hear
Okay.
Darnett, but I don't.
Tell him to give his closing remarks on dating.
Give your closing remarks on dating. Give your closing
What'd you say?
remarks on dating. No,
Close
Closing
out
closing
remarks.
remarks. Closing remarks.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I gotta go.
um, I think like when it comes to everything, the most important thing is clarity. At the end of the day, like you got to be clear on what you want, be clear on who you are as a person, and then you got to also be clear that this is the biggest one to me, that men and women, we process things entirely different from each other. That's one of the things I noticed. Like I don't think we really fully understand. Like men and women process things entirely different from each other, like entirely different, and we underestimate that so much because we've been so used to functioning dysfunctionally, and it's normal. It's normal to us now, and so what we think when we're dating somebody, oh, you know what, it's common sense. They know that you're not supposed to do this in a relationship. They know that when men and women we get together, unspoken, unwritten rules. We're supposed to know the unwritten rules, but people don't realize that common sense ain't common. So what you think that she might know and what she think you might know, neither one of y'all don't know. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of y'all know. So clarity to me is the biggest thing. Clarity and transparency. That's the biggest thing with me.
Thank you, Quill. What about you, Dara?
Muted.
You're unmuted.
You know what I would say? Pretty much what Darnett said. You love yourself first and foremost, above and beyond all things. And if you do, you're good. Everything else will fall into place. You will be guided accordingly. If it is not right with your spirit, you'll know, just like I would know. But love yourself first and foremost. I don't depend on him to pay my bills. I don't depend on him really for anything. It's companionship. And we are two separate entities, just like you are in dating, whether you're dating or it's friends with benefits. You got to love yourself first, period. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I got to bounce.
Okay. Go on, Billy.
Okay, so my closing remarks is like with me and my little lady right now. Oh, I'm sorry, Sheba can't use the lady word. Remember, see? So me and my woman right now, you know, dating. What I would say, I just have a little advice to the women. Like, if your formula has not been working, I'm going back to that. Your formula has not been working. You can sit there and say all your life, this is what I want, this is what I expect, this, that, and the third. But at the same time, if your desire is to have and be with a partner, your list maybe need to be revised. Now, I'm not saying disrespect yourself and all that other crazy mess, but if your desire is not to die alone, pay for your own burial plot and all that other mess, you trying to leave a legacy, you want the grandfather, the father, the son, whoever to be in the picture, you gotta change your formula. And a lot of people, just like today, I just leave with this. We had it, not an incident, but there was a young lady that walked out the office door into the lobby who seen me and a guy that was getting ready to be hired in the company. Got a black woman sitting behind the desk. The black woman that walked out the door, I just pointed at her like with a hey, like how you doing? But guess what? She eased me up and down. She gave me a funky look. The lady behind the desk acknowledged that she gave me that funky look. She laughed. She amplified a little bit more than what it was. I looked back at the girl who gave me the funky look, who was leaving out the door, and she just kept her eyes pointed down towards like the east look at the door. At me as she walked out. Now, not just about 4 seconds later, two Caucasian women walked out that same door. They walked not even just past me. They walked up to me and stopped and said, "Hey, hi Billy, how you doing today? How's everything going?" And I said, "Fine, everything is good. Y'all make sure y'all have a good lunch." and they walked out the door. I say that's one of our biggest damn problems. One of our biggest problems. I got no love from my color, and I got all love from the opposite direction. I'll just leave with that. It probably ain't got nothing to date, nothing to do with dating, but it probably do. I just leave it at that.
That's, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill.
Don't be laughing at my pain.
I was trying to figure out where you were going with it, but hey, whatever works. All right, Donette, you got the floor. Oh, that was funny.
I'm sorry. Okay. Billy, you threw me off. Just a comment for Dara. Dara is such a beautiful soul, and I just loved her energy tonight. So but with all that being said, again, I agree with Quill. Communication is number one. Oh, there she is, Dara. I was saying that you're such a I was saying you're such a beautiful soul.
Back at you.
Okay. And I hope nothing will take you to be offended. I hope you didn't get offended by what I was asking. You're a beautiful
Back at you.
person. But communication is key. Knowing as my closing remarks, if both of you have an understanding on it, then I feel like you'll go a long way. Understanding. But I think the number one thing to dating is listening, because a person will tell you everything that they want, but sometimes we don't have an ear to hear what is being
Right.
said. So therefore, that's how things fly across our head. And know that sex does bring feelings and it brings emotions into every aspect. So if you tend to be in a relationship and you're going to date, keep them legs closed if you don't want those feelings and those emotions. And if you do, make sure you're prepared for whatever consequences are for whatever you're asking for. So, and make sure that person has an understanding. That would be my
That's my daughter. I have to take that call. I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you guys very much. For me, I don't know that I actually have what the concept of dating is of the concept of dating is even for. Because I feel that we're getting a lot of feedback, guys. Okay, I'm hoping that you guys can hear me, but for me, I don't know that what the concept of dating is really all about. I think that we have it misconstrued as to what it means. I think that people stop calling them courtships because courtships sound like something you weren't doing forever. So that people can have sex and do all these great things in the same face of seeing someone that they were only testing out. When the true reality is, if you're really dating someone, that's exactly what that term should kind of stand for. But I guess that's just me and what my ideology of it is, and I won't bestow that upon everyone. I will say that a lot of it is cultural for us as people, based on how we're raised and reared, and what our ideologies were coming into this whole type of situation in our lives. So I hope that everyone was able to learn something from this evening, as I have actually been opened up in my thoughts very deeply um, than I was before about the whole dating situation. And me and Quillis have these conversations all the time. And he opens my mind up to some things that I had kind of really never put to thought before. So I hope that this helps to liberate some people in their process. I hope that whatever could makes sense to you did make sense to you, and that we touched on some of those well needed to be talked about things. So we'll be here next Tuesday night as always on Talk Tuesday. I love Talk Tuesday because this is where we come together and enjoy conversations over certain things. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thank you, panel. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, YouTube. And you guys have a great night. Signing off. Happy